Apologies for the angle. We are propped up on my porch right now. I have been told that I am not a nuisance, so one more video for the laudable Linksy. Okay, so I have gotten these two hats done. I don't know how well the color is picking up. They're mostly done. I need to make the pom-poms for them and pick out the buttons. I will do that once the third hat is completed. Oh, I got a leaf stuck to it. Lovely. Uh, Yesterday you had mentioned, when I was talking about the buttons, you mentioned that it hinted at something darker, so I just wanted to explain that a little bit better because it's not really anything dark. I just knew that it would be the only jar buttons that I would have access to from my aunt. When she was passing, she was on the end of life care, and we were just talking about memories and stuff that we like to do together. And of course, the buttons came up because the buttons are just a really big thing with Aunt Betsy. And I asked, could I have one button, just one as a keepsake that I could like keep on a necklace or something. And she asked her husband to go get a jar. She has many, 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 many jars, like a room full of jars. She's an autistic lady collecting buttons. There's many of them. So he brought in the jar, and she told me that I could have the jar, and they were hers to give. So but he took it as I was to take the jar home, pick out a button, and then bring the jar back. He didn't mention that right away. Like, it was after she had passed, and he had made a very big stink about it. He threw a fit to family that I had never brought the jar back, that I just took the jar of buttons, and he was very, very upset, but he was grieving, and everybody reacts differently, and it doesn't mean that they're mean or bad or anything like that. It's just, sometimes when you're hurting, you lash out, and I very much believe that that's what it was, but I haven't heard from him since, and it's been a few years. But in that moment, I was grieving as well, and that jar of buttons, while it was very important to him, was also very important to me, and I wanted to have that keepsake that, it was a very, very big piece of my childhood, was going to Aunt Betsy's and playing in her school bus. For one, she was a school bus driver, and she actually had her own school bus. She had purchased the school bus. It was hers, and she kept it in her yard, and we would get to play with it and, put the radio on and stuff. It was great. It was so much fun. And then of course, the buttons. The buttons were just such a huge thing. So just having that one jar of buttons means the world to me, and I know that I should have brought them back to just, resolve the situation and have peace in the family, but I could not let go of it, and I'm aware that I should have, but so they only go on very special pieces because of that. The hat set, one will be for me, one will be for my daughter Freya. I don't know who the third is going to just yet. I will figure that out when it happens, but I'll make sure it goes somewhere great. So, crossing fingers that that works out. And I will definitely come back to show you after the pom poms are done, and just to show which buttons I picked out, because I don't actually know which buttons I'm going to pick yet, but we'll see.